Hey YouTube, Chase Variant, coming back at you like a sci-fi sequel, and I'm bringing you The Wrath of the Khan! No actual wrath included, void where prohibited. If your wrath lasts for longer than 4 hours, consult a doctor. Let's get started. Okay, picked up a bunch of books from the New York Comic Con 2017, and here's what I picked up. When I go to these cons, I go specifically to look through long boxes because long boxes are not a thing really in plentiful numbers in New York because of rents and space and you know, a lot of times if you want to go, you know, look through some long boxes, you'll have to go to warehouses in Brooklyn or Long Island or whatever. So cons are a great opportunity for me to look in long boxes, try to get some deals, and that's what I do at the cons I go to. Now, New York Comic Con was not really priced competitively on a lot of their books, but a lot of vendors did come from outside of New York, and those are the vendors that I went to. I spent hours and hours and hours in their long boxes, and here's what I picked up. I got this Groot #1. And these are all for like $1 or under. I got the Faces of Evil Deathstroke one shot. I got the first issue of Blackest Night. I love that cover. I loved that story. You know, if you guys have not, who hasn't read Blackest Night? I think everyone's read Blackest Night. But if you guys are new to comics and weren't collecting back in '09, read the Blackest Night story. One of the greatest Green Lantern stories, if not the greatest Green Lantern story ever. Picked up this. Look at that. Boom! Marvel's Dazzler #1. And the really funny thing about this book is when I picked it up, I got it for $1 at a vendor who had a bunch of them that they let me choose from. And I was able to choose the one in the condition I thought was most pristine and get it for $1. When I was done with that vendor, I walked around the corner to another vendor who had this on the wall for $10. So that just shows you really how prices were crazy at the New York Comic Con this year. Okay. I also picked up Black Panther #1 from the Marvel Knights line. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And that is a wraparound fold-out cover. Super sweet. Picked up New Mutants #3. And if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I went there with a couple things in mind. Moon Knight back issues, the latest volume of the Terminated Deathstroke series, some New Mutants, and X-Men 500s and early 600s Uncanny. That's really what I went there for to get and see if I can get really cheaply. I accomplished that mission, you know, partly. New Mutants #3 from Volume 2. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous book. New Mutants #2 from Volume 2. Legion cover, black and white, spectacular. And Marvel's New Mutants #1 from Volume 2. Gorgeous. Love that. And some Volume 1 New Mutants I was able to get my grubby hands on. Was this #17. Picked up this gorgeous #19. Nice magic cover there, huh? Isn't that neat? With Magnum, Magic, and Sam there. And I picked up the Demon Bear here. And again, these books were under $1. I think I paid 60 cents to be exact for these particular books. All of my books, just to let you know, all of the stuff that I'm showing today, except for the con exclusive stuff, collectively cost me about $65. So, didn't spend much at all. Picked up Aquaman #1 from the DC New 52 line. Apparently it's a second print. Did not realize that. Picked up the Uncanny X-Men #007 from the Marvel Now line. Some other Uncanny X-Men I picked up. was this magnificent Uncanny 512. Beautiful, beautiful cover. Paquette recently did a Trinity cover, which was also very, very nice. Here is the Uncanny X-Men 529. Spectacular. Picked up Uncanny X-Men number 500, and this is the issue where the Uncanny X-Men moved to San Francisco after what's it called? What was that called? Where the two teams fracture or shift or something like that. They had a team schism. So I got it, guys. So yeah, this was Uncanny X-Men after the schism event where the, part of the team moves to San Francisco, and that is the C cover. Also picked up this magnificent A cover from Ross. And when this book came out, it was definitely going for more than the 75 cents that I bought it for. And you know, keep my eye out for it. I was fortunate enough to find 2 of these Ross A covers at the con. Gorgeous. I picked up this 509. Yeah, I did. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Psylocke cover. Wonderful. I picked up this Astonishing X-Men number 1. Yeah, can you believe that, guys? All of that stuff for under $1 each. And guess what? The hits just keep on coming. Here we have Frank Miller's Jim Lee's Batman and Robin number 1. And there was a lot of hype around this when it came out. And I read this book and did not like the writing. I'm going to tell you that right up front. And I know a lot of people didn't like the writing. And Miller fell out with DC for a few months because of the issues around the characterizations. Okay, I also picked up Silk number 1, and this is the B cover, I think. Okay, picked up this fantastic Vampirella Second Coming number 1. Just beautiful, beautiful. I picked up Phoenix Endsong number 1, and this is the kind of thing when you pull something like that out of a long box for $1. It's what collecting's all about, really. It makes your spine tingle, you know, gives you that funny little nerdy feeling in your pants. And that was Marvel's Phoenix song, Endsong rather, number 1. Okay. Also picked up Spider-Man number 1. That's the A cover with Miles doing his thing. And sometimes when you're going through these long boxes, and you know, I was going through the N's obviously, and the D's, and the X's, you find things that you just can't let stay. And I found volume 2 of this Web of Spider-Man number 1. Really, really loved it. And I liked it so much. I bought the first couple issues because they were all character portraits. So, and again, all of these under $1. I got the Web of Spider-Man Volume 2, number 2, with that gorgeous Electro rather. Okay. I got number 3 with the Rhino. Okay. Got number 5 with the Vulture. It's gorgeous. Got number 6 with the Lizard. Spectacular. Got number 7 with Kraven. Right? Aren't these beautiful? Number 8 of the Web of Spider-Man Volume 2 line with Peter pulling down his mask. Number 9, J. Jonah Jameson. Number 10, As I have not read these yet, I do not know who that villain is. Sorry, kids. But it's a gorgeous portrait cover, looking like a negative. And number 11 with MJ, right? Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that beautiful? MJ walking by a poster of her man Spidey on the wall. And the last Web of Spider-Man Volume 2 that I picked up was 12. And that is the Great Doc Ock portrait. And that's not bad. I think I picked them all up except for 6 or so. And I bet you dollars of donuts the one I'm missing is Sandman cover. So, you know, just create a little chase for myself. Okay. More fun books I found at the New York City Comic Con was this Ghost Rider Rides Again. Part 1. It's the retelling of the Johnny Blaze story. I think I already own these actually. I think I bought these off the shelf when I was younger. But I saw them and they're in good condition and they were under $1, so I picked them up. Picked up number 2. And I picked up number 3 of the Ghost Rider Rides Again. Okay. I picked up Star Trek The Motion Picture number 1. Wonderful book. Picked up some Spawn. I picked up Spawn number 2 and Spawn number 3. And even though in its day Spawn was one of the top selling books of its time, you know, the books have been through dollar bins, have been fingered through, and are not in the greatest of condition as a whole, the earlier books. And so they are starting to really mature slightly, you know. I think I picked my Spawn up at the Big Apple Con earlier this year, number 1. I picked a Spawn up for $1, but I see it selling at Midtown for $35, which is not saying much because Midtown often gouges. Picked up Lola XOXO number 3. Got this right from the Aspen booth, so I was able to get the first 3 issues, including the Saya Iom number 1 variant cover. Well, this is her property coming out through Aspen. So, yeah, there's a. Let me show you instead of talk. More show, less talk. Here's number 2, and I picked up this 3-pack for I think I don't remember, $6 or so, maybe $7. And here's the beautiful number 1, and that had sold out at Midtown, so I was very happy to pick that up very affordably at the New York Comic Con. Right from the Aspen Press booth. Okay. Wrapping it up with some exclusives that I picked up. Not necessarily, well, not all of them, most of them. And this is the Samurai Knots. And I was walking around the con, and this book is from a little tiny independent group of guys, and you've probably never heard of this. I'd never heard of this before the con. I was walking around the con, and it was just packed. And a small vendor from a small table looks at me in the face and says, "Do I like Kung Fu monkeys?" Of course, I had to respond, "Fuck yeah, I like Kung Fu monkeys. Who doesn't like Kung Fu monkeys?" And he made the sale to me on this Samurai Knots, The Curse of the Dreadnoughts. And he threw in a con exclusive Samurai Monkey sticker. Yeah, don't know if you'll ever see that again, guys. Another con exclusive I picked up from Blue Juice Comics is Walt Flanagan's Knights of the Fifth Dimension. This is the Comic-Con Special Edition, and I was able to get that signed by Baron von Flanagan himself. Another beautiful book I picked up was Spider-Gwen 001. It's a Dynamic Forces cover. This is one of 3,000 books, and I got the COA from Dynamic Forces in the back of that. Picked that up for about $10 at the con. Okay. And the most expensive books I picked up were $15 each. And they were con exclusives from DC Comics. They were the Wonder Woman foil variant of Justice League. I think that is the D cover. Okay. And sorry about the glare on that, guys, but it's Mylar and it's and it's a big light. And here you have the Justice League A cover, and shows the new Justice League. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cover. And that's how I did at the con, kids. That's what I did. I hope you liked my books. If you did, please click like. If you haven't already, please click subscribe. If you want to join my contest, the Virgin Sacrifice, qualify for some free books, do that. And keep posted for a Virgin Sacrifice update, all you guys, because bonuses and updates will be coming shortly. And that's my haul, kids. Hope you liked it. I'm Chase Variant, and I'm out.